Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, one of the leading providers of HR, payroll, retirement, and software solutions for businesses of all sizes. My name is Steve Boese. Amazon Web Services CEO believes most employees prefer in-person working. This week, Amazon Web Services CEO Matt Garman reiterated his position on why the recently announced return-to-office mandate at Amazon is right for the company. At the Wall Street Journal's Tech Live event, Garman addressed the policy change, saying that innovation and speed of execution are better when teams work in person. Particularly as we really think about how we want to disrupt and how we want to invent on behalf of our customers, we find that there is no substitution for doing that in person, Garman said. Just the creative energy and how fast you're able to iterate when you're sitting there writing on a whiteboard, or you're talking to people in the cubicle next to you, or you're running into people that are in a different department. Garman said those exchanges just don't happen when employees work remotely. He said Amazon initially tried having employees come in at least 3 days a week rather than 5, but that didn't work because everybody picked a different set of 3 days to come in. He also said he told his employees, if it's not for you, then that's okay. You can go and find another company if you want to. And when asked about how many employees might leave, Garman said he did not know, but believed most were excited about everyone working in person. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy announced last month that most corporate employees would be required to return to the office 5 days a week starting in January. In a meeting transcript obtained by news outlets, Garman said most of the employees he'd spoken to support the change. He also said that those who didn't could go to work for another company, which he repeated at the Tech Live event. When reporters reached out about Garman's statements, an Amazon spokesperson declined to comment, but pointed to CEO Jassy's return-to-office announcements from September. These policy changes and statements from Amazon leaders Jassy and Garman reinforce some of the criticisms levied against leaders who are requiring more or even full-time in-office work for workers who had benefited from remote and hybrid working arrangements brought on by the pandemic. Often leaders make these policies based not on any hard data, but on feel. They think that innovation is faster when people work in person. The fact that there's usually no data or research backing up those claims is not a deterrent to those leaders. And that's ironic when you consider that many of these companies rely solely on data to make almost every other important decision in their business. Garman also indicated that he felt most employees were happy about the full-time return-to-office mandate based on his conversations with employees. And it does seem like two things are happening here. One, older male leaders like Garman and Jassy almost certainly built their careers and achieved success at Amazon largely working in person. So to them, that is the right and best way to organize work. That's all they really know about work, and therefore it must be the right way. And as they climbed the corporate ladder, they likely became more insulated from the challenges of in-person work, things like childcare, costly and lengthy commutes, having to balance responsibilities outside of work. These executives can afford to pay for professional services of all kinds, childcare, personal chefs, home upkeep and maintenance, even drivers or helicopters, company jets. They become desensitized to what day-to-day life is for the average worker. And finally, if they're basing their perceptions on how employees feel about the return-to-office plans from personal conversations, well, I don't have to tell you that most employees would not take issue with these plans to the CEO in person. Not many employees would feel empowered enough to tell Jassy or Garman in a one-on-one conversation that they disagreed with these plans or mandates. Job security in the tech industry is kind of perilous right now to be pushing back on the CEO after a return-to-office mandate is enacted. But not all employees are as excited as Amazon leaders seem to feel that they are. On Amazon's internal employee message boards, at least some Amazon employees are unhappy with the changes. Whatever happened to striving to be Earth's best employer, one employee wrote. The remote versus hybrid versus in-person work debates continue, and we will follow the issue here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. That's it for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors.